This is Scott Becker with the Becker Business Minute Podcast, the Becker Private Equity Podcast. Today's discussion is about a headline this morning from Fortune magazine or Fortune that Bank of America warns that the Fed's going to put us on a spot where there's real pain. And the concept of Bank of America is that rates are going to be raised to such a level so high, they're already sort of at a 16-year high. The concept now is that they're going to be raised another probably 100 basis points by the time we're done to 5.75%, 575 basis points, meaning the Fed funds rate. And the concept that B of A sets forth is that this is going to be such a high rate that it's going to put us in such pain as an economy that people are going to feel real pain in the Fed working hard to get inflation down. I believe that the B of A is probably right. The higher you get interest rates up, the more at some point we end up where consumers were already paying 20% on credit card debt, companies that are now paying 10, 12% on debt, and the government, which is going to be paying 5, 7% on debt, are going to find themselves in really problematic spots in terms of managing budgets and trying to make cash flow things work. And that's going to lead people at some point to really have to slow down on their spending, whether it's companies laying people off to get their numbers back in line or consumers stopping spending on anything but essentials to get their numbers back in line, that you're going to have real pain. This is the B of A headline. I believe the B of A headline is completely correct. The thing that we're just starting to hear people talk about is how much deficit spending at the government level leads to inflation. Now you've got two parts of government sort of fighting each other. You've got the Fed trying to raise rates to fight inflation, and you got the government doing deficit spending, which leads to inflation. And at the end of the day, the only way to really avoid this level of pain that we're going to have that Bank of America projects is for the government to get their spending and deficits in line, so you match these things up so that at least the Fed and the federal government aren't working against each other to fight inflation. Again, the headline today, Bank of America warns that we're going to see serious pain in the economy due to the Fed raising rates. That's right, but there is an answer. But unfortunately, our politicians can't get there in terms of that answer. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Minute Podcast. Thank you very much for joining us.